quick tech quickie. So here we have a problem of this hinge is going to be in the way of this door jamb. You can see here that looks pretty bad. You get down in here, it doesn't even fit. So the way you've got to do this is basically you can just rip this board down and then it'll fit behind there, but that's going to be pretty ugly and you're going to lose a lot of the material. Or there's a more traditional method where you take a chisel and you very finely and time-consumingly carve out your notches for your hinges, but again, that takes time, chisel. I'm good, but I'm not great, and this is a construction environment. This isn't cabinet making. Or, look at this. There's a nice little method where you can use a table saw or a chop saw, if you're really good, and knock this nice little notch out of there. How do you do it? Well, let's show you. So we're going to take the board that we're going to use here. We've got this sample right here, and we're going to put it right where we want it, just for measurement's sake. Get it on the top, and then mark, and mark, and mark. Actually, that mark doesn't matter because we're going to transfer it. You would do that if you're going to chisel it, and we're not going to do that. Now, let's go over to the saw and transfer it over to the front, because you need these marks on this face or this face, depending on how you like to use your saw. So I'm going to use my handy dandy speed square, one of the most useful tools in the layout arsenal. And we're going to mark these lines up front and onto the top now. Same on this side. Move it to the front and then bring it to the top. Alright, we've got our lines. Now, before we get too deep into this, let's look at the jig. We've got our miter bar. It's in backwards on purpose because we wanted it buttered up against just a plate of plywood clamped to the table saw. And then we've got a second half over here just to keep us from, well, driving too deep. Okay? And then how we're going to do this, not going to turn on the saw yet, is we're just going to go in and we're going to get a pinch of it and just move it over. Now, a couple of points about that. If you hear the saw ringing too much, if you hear this blade dinging, you'll know. I'll show you. That tells you you're going too deep or you're going too fast and you're just pushing the saw too hard and you're going to tear up the wood. Alright, let's do this. I'm going to do it right. At one point in the middle, I'm going to just really push the saw and you'll hear it just ring and you'll know it's a bad noise. And then we're done, we'll tell you some other things you can do. Loud noise. Alright, now look, one nice beautiful little curve. See what it looks like. You heard it in the middle. That was just horrific. You can change the profile you get here by either changing the depth on your rib gauge or your miter gauge, or by changing the height of the blade. It depends on your hinge size, the wood, how much material you need to cut out. That's something you just got to play by ear and test it on a piece of sample. Speaking of testing, let's see how this fits. There you go. Isn't that pretty though? It's just like it was made for it. You get practically, well, you get finished grade work at construction level tools and time. So that's all for this session. You now that you got your knowledge, you go build something.